Hey friends, welcome back. It is me, Tony, of course, from Tony J Beauty. Today we are going to be doing a tutorial on how to fill brows using a pencil on your client or yourself. These are general techniques that work on everybody that create a soft, natural looking brow every time, perfect for any makeup look you're using or doing. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share this with your friends if you found it useful. Also, we're doing a voiceover today because this is the second time my mic has been off while filming, and I'm not redoing it. Let's get started. Alright, so first we are going to be using the Benefit Precisely My Brow. That is in shade 3 to do the general outline of the brow, and then we are going to go in with another brow pencil in shade 4.5 to create the hair-like strokes. Using two colors is a way to create a very soft, natural brow where it's not extremely harsh or flat from using one tone. Then we're going to do mini brow mapping is what I like to call it, and that is where you make tick marks to measure out the brow. So the first line, which is at the crease of your nose, is going to create the front of your brow. That's where it should start at. The second line is where your arch falls, and that is from the corner of your nostril up right into the arch. Then the very last line is from the corner of your nostril out to the edge of your eye and the edge of your brow. And you just mark in all those places to track the shape of your brow. Next, you want to brush the brow hairs up into place, and then we are going to start on the tail end from our arch mark down to the edge and fill our brow. So you want to start by outlining the bottom, then the top. As you fill each side of the brow, meaning starting with the bottom and then the top, make sure you're buffing out those lines with your spoolie end to soften it up before going in to fill throughout the actual hair of the brow. Now we're going to go in and do the same exact thing to the front half of the brow. Starting at the bottom, we are going to just create that outline or shape of the brow. Make sure you're not exceeding or completely falling short of the tick mark in the beginning, because that is where your brow should start. If your edges or lines start to seem too sharp, make sure you are buffing them out. Again, you'll also want to buff them out prior to filling in with the hair-like strokes. Now, just a note, I did wax my brows in the other video probably a week or two prior to this video. However, you can see that my eyebrows still look pretty good, and that's what you want as the basis, a really good, clean brow. Here's a quick tip. Younger women or more modern women like a more modern shaped brow, so you don't need to go in and create an arch. But like I just did here, if you lift the brow, you'll create a higher appearing arch, which is great for women, I would say in their 40s and up, who are used to that traditional sharp, crisp. Now we're going to jump in with our darker pencil and start to create those hair-like strokes, fill in sparse areas of the brow, and detail anything we might have missed. This part is pretty self-explanatory. You want to follow the way the hair naturally grows in the brow. Fill in, like I said, those sparse areas. So anywhere you see quite a bit more skin, go ahead and fill in through there. If you like the point or the tail end of your brow to be extremely sharp, go in and tackle that now with the darker pencil. And I also like to use that to kind of balance out the front of my brow as well. Here's another pro tip. Remember that when we're doing makeup, it's to enhance what we naturally have. So when you're filling in the brows, don't make them like one flat rectangle. I blame MAC circa 2009 when everybody had the dark, very harsh square brow with no dimension. We have completely moved away from that in 2021. Please do not do that. Make sure that you are just enhancing what's there, filling in sparse areas, and creating a bomb shape that'll make the face look lifted and accentuate the makeup. Now we're finishing up with our pencil work. We're just going to make sure that everything lines up properly. And of course, you know, as you build, and most people don't do the mini brow mapping technique, but it does help you get a perfect length to your brow and perfect arch. But as you grow, you probably won't need this step anymore, and you want to save time in your application. So after a while, that'll get eliminated and you'll be able to do it by eyeballing it. Now we are going to jump in to the next section, which is actually going to be using a brow gel to freeze the brow hair in place. You can use a clear brow gel, which was like the Morphe, or a tinted. The benefit of using clear is that it won't alter the color of the brow at all. Now I do like tinted because it'll keep the brow softer if you're using a lighter color or a softer color. Or it's great for people who are graying throughout their brow because it can tint that gray and make the brow look more even and youthful. If you feel like brow gel isn't really doing the job for your client, that is a completely valid experience. So here's another product alternative. If gel just doesn't seem to be holding the brows in place, or you just don't like the way gel feels, maybe your client has an allergy, an alternative is to use brow wax. Now, brow wax has been around for a really long time. However, Anastasia Beverly Hills just re-released and repackaged a brow wax, as you guys have probably seen all over TikTok and everywhere else. However, brow wax has been out for years. It's literally just a regular non or translucent wax. Comes in a pot or pencil form, and you can kind of brush that through. Amazing for people with long, unruly, curly brows. Hey, are you enjoying what you're seeing? Are you finding these tips useful? Is there something new you've never done before? Or just finding it plain old entertaining? Make sure that you're subscribing and commenting down below to let me know what you like or would change so that I can keep up with good content. Back into this tutorial. So now we are going to go in with concealing the brow. All of these steps are optional after the brow gel because not everyone likes to do a concealer brow. Concealer brow also has a negative connotation to it because it used to look really sharp and harsh back in the day. But here are some tips and tricks to use concealer to clean up the brow and still look natural. So I go in with a liquid concealer. You know, liquid concealer is the easiest thing to blend out and get a softer appearance. However, you can go in with cream if you find that your client has brows that really haven't been groomed in a while, concealer that is a cream product will help to camouflage that a lot more. Also, if you've used cream products on the face, I like to match textures, and I would go in with a cream instead of a liquid in that case also. Now, when it comes to selecting the shade for your brow, you want to go in with two different colors. Here, you're going to see later that I'm not going to do the top of my brow at all because I didn't want to. But when it comes to selecting the shades, the bottom shade should match that under brow space. So that space between your brow and your eyelid, that concealer should pretty much match that color. Then when you're selecting the shade for the top of the brow, you can actually just go in with some foundation you might have left over on your palette or a concealer that is the exact match as the foundation. That's because we want the brow to look clean, well-shaped, and lifted, but we don't want to create that horrid halo brow that we used to see back in the day. Moving along, now we're going to go in and powder our brows. Again, this is optional. I'm using Danessa Myricks Evolution Powder in shade 01, just a standard translucent powder. The reason why you want to do this is to, again, soften the brow, keep it from looking so dark and harsh, but also for clients who have oily skin, powder, just like it does the rest of the face, will bring down some of that shine. If you use a more waxy product that is a little shinier, you also want to use powder for that. And then powder just helps, as added insurance to lock everything in place. You see that difference on how everything is just a little bit more blurred and softened than the other side where I haven't done my brows or blended powder down? So now that we've covered all the steps and tips, I'm going to jump into doing my other brow, which I'm going to fast forward because it's the exact same thing, and then I will come back when it's over. Alright, so now's the perfect time to wrap up and give you guys some tips The biggest takeaway, as always, is brows are sisters, not twins. In my case, in many other people's cases, one of my brows actually sits a little bit higher than the other. One of them also has a higher arch. So it is what it is. Make sure that you are, coming close to where only you or the client notice the imperfection. But don't beat yourself up because nobody is perfect on both sides, left and right. Also, like I said before, make sure you're picking a brow medium of 2 different shades. So if that's pencil, powder, dip brow, whatever the case may be, 2 different shades. And a great way to finish off the brows is always to do brow gel or brow wax to lock those hairs into place and powder them down to avoid any shine. Make sure that if you enjoyed this video, you let me know down below. If there's a specific video you'd like to see next, make sure you comment that as well. Yes, skincare is coming, but I want to make sure that it's up to par when I do release it. And I hope you're enjoying this finished brow. Again, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share with friends, and I can't wait to talk to you guys down below. Guess what? Your girl got a community tab now. I can't wait to talk to you guys all the time on your YouTube feed.